we're slap happy. Sports Center with Jay and Dan. No Jay. Natasha's here. It's brought to you by McDonald's.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We were excited for Game 7, weren't we? We wanted more baseball.
I don't know what
Keep it
happened.
going.
I don't know what happened in Game 6.
Oh, we don't know what happened. Sorry. Okay, well, let's not give it away. The Dodgers, they were trying to win their first World Series in over 3 decades. They came close in 2017. They came close in 2018. Could they get the job done on Tuesday?
Let's see.
Let's find out.
What happened in Game 6. Yes, Dodgers have won away from their 7th title in franchise history. Haven't won since '88. Randy Arozarena has set records for homers, hits, and total bases in a single postseason. No one knew who this guy was before the playoffs. Top 1, Arozarena. Hello, jerk. His 10th postseason home run. Solo shot, becomes the 2nd rookie with 3 home runs in a World Series. The other, Charlie Keller, 1939, 1-0 race. Blake Snell hasn't pitched into the 7th since July 2019. Struck out 6 of the first 9 batters he faced. Had a shutout into the 4th. Snell's ERA, though, jumps to 8 in the middle innings this season. Tuesday, no issues. Strikes out the side for a 2nd time in the 4th. Snell had a 1-hitter heading into the 6th. And man, I love that we use this so much now. TSN turning point. 1 out, none on for Chris Taylor in the 6th, base hit. Out comes Kevin Cash. What? Snell's like, what?
Oh, no.
Snell pulled after 73 pitches. Nick Anderson, who's given up a run in 7 straight games in the postseason. Well, after a double by Mookie Betts, wild pitch, Taylor scores without a throw, tie game. Corey Seager and ground ball. Betts, so aggressive, beats the throw. Dodgers have the lead. Let's check on Kevin Cash. Yikes! In the 8th, Betts leading off.
0-2 to Betts, a hanger that's drilled to deep left center field and gone! Maybe the finishing touch.
Betts took Peter Fairbanks 434 feet. His 2nd home run of the playoffs puts the Dodgers up 2. Into the 9th, they're still up 2. Julio Urias on to close it out. Mike Brosseau. Watch his strike through. Dodgers and out away from their first title since '88.
0-2 to Adames. And that'll do it! The Los Angeles Dodgers have put their postseason demons to bed.
They did it. Dodgers, in a shortened season, were the favorites to win, and they did. They win the World Series in 6. They win it 3-1. And one of the big stories out of this one was the fact that Justin Turner was taken out of the game in the 9th because he had a positive COVID test. Just adds to the intrigue of a season which was not normal at all. Blake Snell, first pitcher with 9 strikeouts through 4 innings of a World Series game since Sandy Koufax, so of course you take him out. Dodgers set an MLB record by homering in 13 straight playoff games. Your World Series MVP, Corey Seager. But the Dodgers join the Lakers as world champs.
From day one, you know, these guys have been in the postseason so many times, and I just came to be a part of it, and I'm just happy I can contribute.
In the 6th inning, Blake Snell is taken out of the game. He had gotten you twice. Nick Anderson came in. Tell me about that change the Rays made for that at bat.
I mean, I'm not exactly sure why. I'm not going to ask any questions, but he was pitching a great game. Barnesy led off with a hit, I think, right there, and we had a chance to do something, but I made a pitching change, and it seems like that's all we needed.
The lineup the Dodgers features as potent as any team in the league. Personally, I felt Blake had done his job and then some. Mookie coming around for the 3rd time through. I value that. I totally respect and understand the questions that come with it. Blake gave us every opportunity to win. He was outstanding. They're not easy decisions.
He's going to face a lot of those questions. Yes, Corey Seager, as I mentioned, World Series MVP, had 2 home runs, drove in 5 runs, hit 400. He is the 8th player to win LCS and World Series MVP in the same postseason. For the entire postseason, 8 home runs, 20 RBI. And now to break down Game 6, we welcome TSN baseball analyst Steve Phillips into the Coors virtual side seats. Blake Snell, he was dealing into the 6th, 9 strikeouts, only 1 hit allowed. But once he was to face the Dodgers for the third time through, Kevin Cash pulled him from the game. Steve, at some point, you have to throw the analytics out the window and just be a manager, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, Kevin Cash was looking at the numbers. The numbers say that the second time and third time through the lineup, and this would have been the third time for Snell, that the numbers escalate. His ERA goes up. The batting average against is over 300. The OPS is over 900. And I get it. But that's not the Blake Snell that was pitching tonight. The guy that was pitching tonight was overpowering. He was dominating. And the amazing part of it is that after the Austin Barnes base hit, Mookie Betts coming to the plate, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters for the Dodgers against Blake Snell were 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts. And so they hadn't even fouled the ball off. They couldn't do anything against him. He takes him out of the game, and then bringing in Nick Anderson. The thing about Anderson, he gave up 1 earned run during the regular season. But that's not the Nick Anderson that was pitching in the postseason. The guy in the postseason had given up runs in each of the last 6 appearances he made in October. And so I understand what the numbers say, but your eyes have to tell you what you're watching that day and make a decision, at least including that into that process. Kevin Cash went to the bullpen, and he was made to pay a horrible price for it.
The look on Snell's face when they pulled him out, I think, just said everything, didn't it? As for the Dodgers, we knew heading into the game that this would be a bullpen day for them. But were you impressed with how Dave Roberts used the different relievers he had available?
Well, think about this. So Dave Roberts uses 7 pitchers in this game. The last time the Dodgers won the World Series in 1988, they used 7 pitchers the entire World Series. 7 the entire World Series. They used 7 in this game. And so he went through his guys early on. He went with his lower leverage pitchers. Dylan Floro did a great job getting a huge strikeout of Randy Arozarena early in the game. And then he mixed and matched to get to Julio Urias, a guy who can start, who can get lefties and righties out. He finishes it out. Overpowering stuff. He's just a baby still. He's got years ahead of him. He's got 6 wins and a save in the World Series. He's got big-time numbers. Roberts did a tremendous job managing his staff and winning this in 6.
So the Dodgers do it. They were knocking on the door for a while. Why did they do it? Why was this the year they got over the hump?
Boy, I mean, think about this year, too. I mean, so many obstacles that were placed in front of them with between the almost not having a season and then the shortened season, the marathon season that became a sprint, and then the challenges during the course of the year, geographic play and trying to keep everybody healthy. They were the best team in baseball. And in a season that's shorter, fluky things can happen. They didn't allow it. They went out and made plays. They're the most talented team. They're the deepest team. And they played the best and made the big pitches when they needed to, got the big hits when they needed to, and the 2-out RBIs, the key to the postseason for them. They came up clutch in the biggest moments, got it done, and it was a long drought, no question about it. But this team worthy of the World Series championship.
Well, Steve, your work here is done. Have a great offseason. We'll talk to you, I don't know, sometime.
And we will have much more on the World Series a little bit later in the show. But first, huge playoff implications in New Jersey Tuesday with a match between Nashville SC and the Montreal Impact. They are in 8th and 9th place, respectively, in the Eastern Conference. A precarious position for the Impact, who aren't exactly coming in on a roll. They come into this one having lost 3 of their last 4. The Impact only 2 points above the playoff line. A win on Tuesday would be huge for their chances. First half, Anibal Godoy fires, but a great diving save by Clement Diop. The Impact keeper couldn't do anything about this, though, in the 33rd minute. Montreal's defense caught napping. Randall Leal will score. Heads-up play from Alex Mule, taking the free kick and sending it ahead. Montreal can leap 8th place Nashville with a victory here, but they trailed 1-0 at the break. Then a great chance for Nashville to double the lead. Mule's deflection from the cross, stopped by Diop, The Impact have lost 7 of their last 10 matches. The expansion team providing all the pressure in this one. Another close call at the net. Joel Waterman clears that one at the last second. Very nice play by the BC native. And finally, a chance from the Impact in the 84th minute. Romel Kyoto breaks free. He appears to tie the game, but it's called offside. Tough break for the Impact. A huge blow to their playoff hopes with only 2 games remaining. 1-0 the final here. So the Impact fails to earn a point. They are sitting in 9th, just barely ahead of Inter Miami for the final playoff spot in the East. Montreal with just 2 games remaining, 1 against 4th place Orlando City and 1 against DC United.
Vancouver and Seattle Whitecaps near the bottom of the playoff picture. A win would move them to 6th, though, in the West. Seattle only had 1 shot on goal in the first half, 54th minute.
Montero may be facing his old team.
Nuhu Tola to Raul Ruidiaz. Goal was originally called offside VAR review, and that reversed the call. Ruidiaz was ruled onside. Whitecaps then subbed in their offensive players to catch up, and that didn't work either. Ruidiaz, this time with the assistant Nicholas Ladiero. Seattle takes a 2-0 lead.
And it is Nico
Lodero pulls out the phony. It's the old Get Smart. Use the shoe as a phone. Get smart. Whitecaps needing something on offense. Ali Adnan scored the comeback win against San Jose on Saturday. Misses the net. So Vancouver fails to pick up a point. Seattle moves into 1st in the West. Vancouver clinging to a playoff spot. Their last 2 games are against Portland and LA Galaxy. Whitecaps, they've missed the playoffs in back-to-back seasons, by the way. And if you're wondering, yeah, there are 2 fewer teams in the West, therefore 2 fewer playoff spots than in the East. Yeah, that's Justin Turner taking him out in the 9th. I guess his one test was inconclusive on the Tuesday, and then they got the test results back on his test on Wednesday during the game, so that's why it happened. But they'll be answering questions about
Interesting little tidbit there, yes. Yeah. Joey Moss, beloved member of the Oilers locker room, passed away on Monday at the age of 57. Moss was a locker room attendant for the Oilers and Edmonton's football team for over 3 decades. His dedication to both organizations was infectious, and his presence clearly touched those who got to know him. And not even a day after, the Edmonton football team made Joey Moss a part of their field, tweeting out, "Once, always, R.I.P. Joey."
Dare I say Joey Moss was as recognizable as the Oilers logo?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep, everybody in Edmonton knew him. I'm very curious to see how they end up honoring him. People were saying maybe make a statue of him, put it next to Gretzky's, or give him his own banner and raise it in the arena.
And you were saying they have moved the Gretzky statue to the new arena.
Yes, they have.
That has to be done. That's going to be going to be a given. The Arizona Coyotes are being heavily criticized for drafting Mitchell Miller, who admitted to bullying a black classmate with developmental disabilities 4 years ago. The mother of the student Mitchell bullied was so upset after the draft, she sent a scathing letter directly to the club. Now, this is a portion of that letter. It says, "I guess as an organization and NHL team, I would expect so much more and hold them to a higher standard, especially with all the Black Lives Matter movement. As much as we pray Mitchell will eventually see the damage he did to our son, we have seen no remorse. The other gentleman had a sincere apology to our son, and our son forgave him. The magistrate said it best, quote, Mitchell, I don't think you are remorseful for what you did more than you are upset for the negative attention you're getting, end quote. Again, the bully incident that continued over years has damaged our son mentally significantly, and your organization is more concerned about Mitchell and your hockey success. In my opinion, that is being part of the problem. There is a victim out there that was and still is at the hands of your 111th pick." With more on the situation, here's Gino Reda.
With the insiders Darren Dreger and Pierre LeBrun and our senior hockey reporter Frank Sarvalli. Gentlemen, while the Coyotes are continuing to face criticism for their handling of Mitchell Miller, to this point we haven't heard anything at all from the NHL on that front. Frank, do you have any further information on that front?
Well, Gino, what we've learned is that this was not a secret among NHL scouting circles. I'm told that at least 1/3 of the NHL's teams, if not more, had scratched Miller off of their draft list heading into the draft, saying at no point were they willing to draft Miller in any of the NHL's rounds. And so in recent days, we've seen the Arizona Coyotes and the University of North Dakota show their support for Miller. But what does that mean in terms of his chances to represent Team USA at the World Junior Championship? Miller was part of their most recent evaluation camp, and I'm told that he remains a candidate to represent Team USA in Edmonton over the holidays. USA Hockey, in speaking to one of their officials today, they had said that they had been well aware of Miller's past conduct, and his behavior is indeed reprehensible. They feel that no kid should go through what Isaiah Meyer Carruthers has gone through, but at the same time, USA Hockey feels that there should be a path for all kids to make their way back.
This is not the first time USA Hockey has dealt with an issue of this nature. It hired John Van Beesbroek as Executive Assistant Director of Hockey Operations in 2018, some 15 years after he resigned as coach and general manager of the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds for using a racial slur to describe Trevor Daley. Pierre, turning our attention back to the NHL now, and the PA's Executive Committee met on Tuesday?
Yeah, a lengthy meeting. It was the first executive board meeting since June when they spearheaded the vote on the new CBA. Now, of course, the executive board is all 31 player reps, and they've got a lot of questions. Unfortunately, I don't know how many answers they're going to get. So this meeting is the PA's version of the GM's meeting last week for the league, and it is short on answers because, again, still so much work and so many meetings to be had to determine the 2021 season. And let me stress again, the joint committee of the PA and the league has not yet met to begin proceedings on figuring out what this upcoming season will look like. Now, after this executive board meeting, there are also going to be team-by-team meetings held by the NHLPA throughout the week so that all 700 plus players get to ask questions. And there are a lot of questions, you know, when do they move back to their NHL cities? What about schools? You know, for their kids and their families, a lot of pertinent questions for players regarding really still an unknown, the 2021 season.
Well, perhaps in preparation for the bigger meeting with the National Hockey League Players Association, the NHL continues to work on as many as 6 playing scenarios for the 2020-21 season. That includes a Canadian division and what that might look like. Now, it could be just one city, one hub that houses all 7 Canadian teams, but there's some big concerns over what happens if you start that way and then the world gets healthier and you have to flip back to normal divisional play inside a regular season. Logistically, that could be a nightmare. You could see 2 hubs in the United States if the Canadian restrictions don't soften moving forward. But as we remind our listeners on a week-by-week basis, guys, it is a day-by-day process and nothing is finalized.
You know, in the meantime, a pretty significant part of that summer CBA announcement, something that the NHLPA had fought hard for, was, of course, the return of Olympic participation after missing out on the 2018 Winter Games. Here's the thing, though. There haven't been any conversations between the NHL and the NHLPA ever since that new CBA was announced with the Olympic news in it, and we get it. They had a summer tournament to put on, returned to play, and now they're trying to figure out 2021. There are bigger fish to fry. But the February 22 games aren't that far away. So at some point over the next 12 months here, with the IIHF and the IOC, the NHL and the NHLPA have to figure out if this is a go. They want to go. It's in the CBA, but they have to make it happen.
And right now, a big concern for the NHL are the Summer Olympics. Since they begin July 23rd, NBC will want the NHL season done well before then, so that could dramatically affect how many games are played in the NHL this season.
All right, more hockey news. Devon Toews and the Avalanche have avoided arbitration, signing a 4-year deal worth $4.1 million per season. The Avs acquired Toews from the Islanders for 2 second-round picks 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, his deal's going to carry an average annual value of $4.1 million. Tyler Bertuzzi was the only arbitration case to actually get to a hearing so far. He was awarded a $3.5 million deal for the upcoming season. 25-year-old's coming off a career-best 48-point campaign. So he is asking for a 1-year $4.25. The Red Wings countered with $3.15. So I'd say Bertuzzi won this.
There you go. 2 straight 20-goal mark seasons. Good for him. The Carolina Hurricanes have signed defenseman Hayden Fleury to a 2-year, $2.6 million deal. 24-year-old had 4 goals and 10 assists in just 45 games for the Canes last season. The Carlisle, Saskatchewan native signed just before his arbitration hearing that was scheduled for November 8th.
And Fleury ranked 5th on the team in block shots and 3rd among team defensemen in hits in 2019-2020.
All right, let's move along. After Mike Nolan had some issues with hot sauce in his eyes, we look back at other self-inflicted wounds in the Sports Center Top 10.
New McCafe Lil Donuts are here. Donuts like sprinkle, Boston cream, and maple caramel too. Try 2 for just $1.79 plus tax. Sweet bliss starts with McCafe.
Set the tone. Set it in the details, in every stitch. This is your stage, your fable. Set the tone in your suit and sneakers and earn your seat at the table. Set the tone by giving back, giving hope. Set it for the little ones and their big dreams. They'll stand on our shoulders, future kings and queens. Set the tone for more love, be it button down or heartbreaking. So, what will you do today?
Trouble seeing the road? Get free Michelin Hybrid Wiper Blades with every oil change. A $40 value when you redeem your coupon. It's Mr. Lube's Change Your Oil, Change Your Wipers event. Get your coupon at MrLube.com.
It starts as a game. Then it becomes a way of life. Now, because of RBC Training Ground, you're on the world stage. Sign up for free at rbctrainingground.ca.
Weekend Warriors, meet your match. With a sport hood, a custom grill, and 20-inch black aluminum wheels, the Ram 1500 Warlock cleans up real nice. Right now, get 25% off MSRP for up to $14,600 in total discounts.
7-Eleven is open to provide a safe place to shop in the neighborhood with enhanced cleaning and safety practices. Right now, we've got great deals on cold beverages. Find them in store or get 7-Eleven delivered fast. 7-Eleven, here for you in the neighborhood.
LA Dodgers are World Series champs. You know, the last time they won it was '88. Guess who also won a title that year as well? The Lakers. So the Lakers and Dodgers are champs. And Corey Seager is World Series MVP. Here he is on winning that elusive World Series title.
Man, this was just awesome. What this team's accomplished this year throughout the regular season, grinding through every series. You know, we got down 3-1, we came all the way back. You know, just the resilience, the effort, the energy, everything that this team's done this year. Man, it's just been fun to be a part of.
Definitely disappointed, upset. You know, I don't know. I just want the ball. I felt good. I did everything I could to, you know, prove my case to stay out there. And then for us to lose, you know, it sucks. Yeah, it's not, I mean, I don't really know what to say, you know. I want to win, and I want to win the World Series, and that's the goal. So for us to lose, yeah, I mean, it just sucks.
Who Delivered, brought to you by McDelivery. Mookie Betts of the Dodgers scored the series-winning run on a heads-up play in the 6th and added some insurance with a homer in the bottom of the 8th. The Dodgers trade for Betts has now already paid off and then some. They have him under contract for 12 more years.
Oh, poor Red Sox fans.
No kidding. They're all crying right now watching this. NASCAR Cup Series race at Texas Motor Speedway has been postponed until Wednesday. It's the 3rd straight day the race has been postponed. You can watch it on TSN 3 at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific.
Man, must be getting bored in their RVs. So yes, the Dodgers are World Series champions, beating the Tampa Bay Rays 3-1 in Game 6. It's the Dodgers' first World Series title in 32 years. The team had fallen short in 2 of the last 3 championship series, but finally get it done. Corey Seager named the unanimous World Series MVP. So Mookie Betts, like I said, Red Sox fans see this and they're like, what were you doing? Hey, at least we got Lenny Dykstra on board. Lenny Dykstra. Whenever I see his name, I'm like, what is he doing now? I don't think he's in jail at this moment. Mookie Betts, first player ever to win MVP and a World Series title with 2 different franchises before turning 30 years old. Time for the Jannies. Best and the worst from the baseball season. Was I supposed to start or you?
I thought I was, but I could be wrong. Do you want to do this one? Okay, I'll go. AL wildcard round, Game 3 between the White Sox and Athletics. Adam Engel popping into no man's land in shallow right center. Second baseman Tommy La Stella bobbles it, but he hangs on.
So this is from the best from the postseason and the worst. Game 2, Will Smith, homer to left. This fan makes the catch. Oh, yeah, this is the guy. This is so strange that he throws.
So you catch a ball, you get the souvenir.
The glove onto the field.
Right?
Just a little trade.
And then he got it back. Yeah, Randy Rosarena threw it back to him.
There you go. You got to keep that ball no matter what. NLCS Game 7, Braves up 3-2, threatening with nobody out. Grounder to third. Dansby Swanson running on contact, gets caught in a rundown. And he's tagged out, but Austin Riley makes things worse for Atlanta. Way too late breaking for third. He is out as well. The Braves, of course, go on to lose the game.
This also from the NLCS, Freddie Freeman, dual citizen. Oh, wow, he smoked that. That is... Oh, Mookie Betts. What a catch. Mookie Betts, World Series champion.
And this game, everybody's still talking about this one. World Series Game 4, the Rays down to their final strike. Brett Phillips singles to right. Randy Rosarena trying to score the winning run. Then the ball's dropped at the plate. And the Rays win. Phillips actually hyperventilated and needed an IV after this game. I think a lot of people were having a hard time breathing after that one.
Back to Game 3 of the AL wildcard series, White Sox A's. Whose rubber hits the ball a mile, 487 feet. One of the longest home runs ever at the Coliseum. The White Sox lost, but man, that was tattooed.
World Series Game 5. Rays down a run, but have 2 on against Clayton Kershaw. And Manuel Margot takes off from third, trying to steal home. Kershaw gets him. Just a bang-bang play there. Dodgers, well, of course, they went on to win this game. Trying to steal home, man. I don't know.
ALCS Game 2, George Springer. Fly ball to right. Manny Margot. Oh, fighting the sun, fighting the wall. Caught it. Fell 6 feet and lived to tell about it. He was okay. No injuries on that play.
This is one of many horrible throws by Jose Altuve in the postseason. He had a serious case of the yips, unable to throw the ball to first without bouncing it or throwing it away. In spite of that, the Astros made it all the way to Game 7 of the ALCS, only to lose to the Rays.
And Game 2 of the NLDS, Fernando Tatis Jr. crushes it, and Cody Bellinger, his reaction right after is just awesome. Considering it was a 60-game regular season,
yes,
the postseason gave us enough memories to forget that it was a truncated season.
That is true. It ended up being really, really good.
Yeah, 60 games. Make it about 80 games.
It should be like that every year, right? You're saying, yeah, just tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah. Natasha is the co-host on this week's Jay and Dan podcast. I asked her off the top if she'd ever appeared on the podcast before. She said no, and then we found out she appeared in studio in 2018.
And then all the memories came flooding back, how we talked about my little Honda Civic, and you and I were going to go on a cross-country road trip.
Yeah, so we talked about Justin Turner, how he was on the field after a COVID positive test result. There he is. No, again, They took the mask off for the pictures, but they'll be answering a lot of questions about that. You blew it. I said Turner was taken out of the game in the 9th. He was actually taken out in the 8th.
Okay.
You said that Tiger Woods finished 77th at the Zozo Championship. He actually finished tied for 72nd out of a field of 77, but your script said 70.
Okay.
Field of 78. Can someone get it right, Scott?
That's a lot of numbers to deal with. Okay.
And during the top 10, you wondered if Mitchell Skiba was injured. He wasn't. Played in his next game less than a week later.
Have we ever seen any post-game comments from him on that? Has anybody interviewed him? I've never seen any sounds.
Guess who's appearing on the show tomorrow? Kerwin Bell and Mitchell Skiba.
Both of them, eh? Excellent. Great show.
Yeah.